Welcome to TerryWilson3.com.
This is the Terry Wilson, really?
Hey, Tony, this is Terry Wilson with TerryWilson3.com. How are you?
You personally are calling me back.
Get ready to discover, develop, and monetize your skills and talents with Terry Wilson.
I'm not telling you that, Lindsay. No. There's no prep to this show, baby. It is all live and in charge. You're pressed down, so if you'll unmute your microphone whenever you want.
Yeah.
Tonight, this is episode 382. We're talking about taking the labor out of your day. Tonight.
Oh, is that what we're talking about?
That's what we're talking about.
That's a loaded word.
Well, you want to know how this word came about, seriously?
I do.
The word labor?
No.
I want to be educated.
I made a mistake and thought today was Labor Day.
That's next Monday.
I know.
For those
Why
of us
am I
that
not
work full time.
So I wasn't going to mention that, but
For those of us that work full time, we know when Labor Day is.
Well, it's all. So I was like, when does the working people have that Labor Day again? I can't remember.
Oh.
Yeah, next Monday.
It's another week away.
Yeah, what do you do? Tonight we're talking about how you can work smarter and not harder. How you can do your job without it feeling like a job. This doesn't mean that there won't be struggles and strifes from time to time in your workday. However, it does mean that if you can learn to leverage the right tools and systems, you can mitigate those areas of your job that are such a dread. I'm also going to offer a training tonight in Income Hack number 15. And I've really, fought whether to even, and I just looked at that, I misspelled fault. I really fought whether to do this training or not, seriously, because, what I'm going to show tonight is really a training that I normally only do for elite members. And specifically, I've only done this type of training at the conference in breakout sessions. So it's, please do whatever you got to do.
Was that a sound effect for emphasis?
I'm telling you what are we doing around here?
Supposed to go over it. Went down.
So tonight you're going to have a special training tonight. So you'll want to pay attention because I kept going back and forth. Should I do this? Should I not? But we're going to go ahead and air this because I want to give value to our listeners and the people that watch our live stream. So tonight you're going to see how you can make $25 to $500 per call you generate. How you can earn income on autopilot, create a stream of income around your interest, how others are creating income that once was just a dream, and tons more. So I'm going to be sharing that tonight. But before I get too far into it, all the way from the elliptical.
Oh! Hey, I burned over 500 calories on that elliptical today.
Well,
I didn't.
Miss Lindsay, Lindsay has been tasting different chicken sandwiches over the weekend, I hear.
Listen,
How
do
dare
not
you.
judge me for
How dare you.
for straying.
Cheating on the Lord's chicken.
Well, I
Chick-fil-A
heard
is
all the
listening.
hype, and I had
here.
to compare.
Yeah, I have a question. How dare you?
You know what, Reagan?
I'm just kidding. I tried to get it too. Sold out. I wanted to come up here and talk
They're
about
going to pull your credentials.
I was going to
from
talk about
Chick-fil-A.
how trash it is, but then it was like it was sold out.
It was
so-
sold out, so we couldn't even try.
Yeah.
Well, isn't that
We
the
should
huge
talk
knock?
about item number 1 that Popeye should have done.
What's that?
Plan.
Yeah, they did not allocate
Like
properly.
potentially understand your demand
Yeah.
and plan accordingly.
Well, this is a business show, and that's great business advice.
Yeah.
Now, I do not understand why it is so lit, fam. Because, there's other places that have chicken sandwiches
Sure.
than Chick-fil-A.
Is it spicy? Is it even
Yeah,
spicy?
there's a spicy version.
Yeah, I don't know why it got to be this whole rivalry thing real quick. Like, this is what's going on, and that's all I've been in my news
Our
feed.
neighbor, who's an entrepreneur,
Yes.
offered a free Popeye's chicken sandwich with the sale of a house. That was,
That's a steep buy-in.
I mean,
That's going to be a lot of sandwiches about it.
Yeah, steep buy-in.
yeah.
Well, that's Miss CBD Oil, and to her left, your right on camera, the mystery man, my brother from another mother. Did you know you didn't even exist?
When?
You're just a figment in the imagination
That's
of
how I
some
like it.
members.
Sometimes myself.
I was on vacation a couple weeks ago, and I got this blistering email that said, "There's no such thing and no such person as Michael Corbett. That's just Terry."
Stop. No, they didn't.
I guess I need to expand my footprint.
Can I tell you where to put that footprint? 'Cause I would like you to have a meeting.
Yes.
No, you may not.
I was out in New Mexico
Yeah.
checking on Spaceport America
Yes.
You've been gone for
and
a
the
long
hospitals
time.
to support Spaceport America.
Yeah.
So it was fun stuff.
Cool.
Fun stuff. Fun stuff. Well, that is the one and only the mystery man, Mr. Michael Corbett. And over to off camera tonight, and he never likes the intro music that I give him, so I have to give him this one.
I like this one. This one's good.
Okay, all right.
You should give him that music that he just gave you a few minutes ago.
No, we're not going to
I
play
would
that
prefer
on this.
Shred Cruise by Mom Jeans, but it's
No,
fun.
We're not going to do that.
Let him even sing it.
So how's ticket support doing, Mr. Tyrant of Tickets?
It's pretty good.
Good, good. Any news? It is news back there. Everything's
Thinking about it. No. No, I mean, we've had new plugins and stuff, but nothing like.
So how's the members liking the new plugins that we dropped?
Well, I haven't heard any complaints. So
Okay, good.
I'll
Well,
take that
we'll
as
take
a win.
that as a win.
Yeah.
Well, if you're not having a lot of questions either,
That's typically pretty good.
that's typically a good thing. So that's pretty cool.
Or they may not be using the plugins.
Well, I don't know. Everything I've gotten has been like, this is probably the best upgrade we've had in quite
Fantastic.
a while. So hopefully, I hope that's everybody's response on that. So very cool, very cool. And off camera and off phone tonight and off of the microphone, he'll be back next week. My son in whom I'm well
Sweet
pleased.
River.
The river, the chat Nazi. So
Can we hear that rendition of that song you were singing about 10 minutes ago? Tour next week,
he's
y'all.
on tour next week. So very cool. Well, Miss Lindsay, what do you got to tell the folks?
Well, tonight we are giving away a free copy of Terry's book, You Are Worth More. If you would like to get a free copy of this book, simply share this podcast right now while we are live to any social media channel you use with hashtag TW3Podcast382. We will be selecting a winner at the end. To share, make sure you're on the YouTube site and simply click the word share in the bottom right-hand corner of the video. If you would like to purchase a signed copy of the book, You Are Worth More, then go to youareworthmorebook.com now. And you can also get a Kindle version, which is amazed,
That is
by
cool.
the way.
You got one, didn't you?
I did.
Oh,
yeah,
cool.
I totally did. Through Amazon, because I love a Kindle.
Yeah.
Like you can read without the blue light of
So that eye fatigue.
yeah. You can like read and go to sleep, which is what I use reading for. So
Well, if anyone
So
can
you're
put you to
saying
s-
Terry's
yeah.
book put you to sleep.
listen, any book gets me ready. Terry's book is really inspiring though. It's really, really great for the entrepreneur. So
Well,
I
thank
think
you. I appreciate that. Very cool. Reagan?
It's me.
It's
On the
you.
notes, it's Michael next.
It's
by the way.
Oh, is
Michael
Michael
next.
next? I'm sorry. Go
Uh-oh.
ahead.
We're going off
is.
script.
We're going off script.
oh, we're going to
Full
road.
Rochambeau for it.
That's right.
I guess I can go first. So after our next segment, we're going to be taking questions. So go ahead and start sending those in so we can start collecting them. We do ask that you keep all questions clean, positive, and relevant. And if you're a member and you have any questions that are more membership related, you can send those in. But if we skip it, it's probably because it's meant more for Wednesday night trainings when we can actually get into it. So
Very cool. Very cool.
All right, perfect. Last one here before we jump into the next segment is just a reminder about the conference. You Are Worth More conference that will be happening here in a few months. Few tickets left. Year 3 of this, correct?
Yes.
So third time's the charm. You're
We'll
getting
eventually get it right.
You're getting it bigger and better every single year.
Yeah, it's cool.
But, you know, the great addition I think we need to always remember on this, too, is that not only are some of the training and education components great, but just the sheer fact of networking.
yeah.
You know, we do a good amount of conferences at my daytime job.
Yeah. Your day gig.
And just finished one with CNOs. And that was one of the biggest takeaways they had was just networking with like colleagues.
Right.
Yeah.
So a big thing. So remember to hit up worthmoreconference.com, get your tickets there. Come join us in the great city of Greenville
It's a great city.
and be excited to have you.
In downtown Greenville, just a cool place.
It's
was.
awesome.
It was.
It really is. So, and to
Pralines.
yeah, praline.
Or baseball.
Or
we were just
baseball.
there this weekend for that.
Oh, please,
Or
pralines.
or ice cream,
or ice cream,
Pralines.
or pralines. Yes. They
whatever
got
you'd
pralines.
like. But a great downtown.
It's a great area, great time, and you're going to be in front of people and around people that are average people, just normal people that are doing abnormal things, which is putting their life and career on autopilot, earning the kind of money they want to make. And it's one thing to see this podcast and see the chat and hear from people like Captain Quackenbush and Greenbacks and Tom Sellers from Chi-Town and the King, Thomas King, and all these guys, and Linda Gordon, and I'm going to miss someone, and Miss Spelling Bee, and Bam Bam from the left coast. And I know I'm going to leave people out, so I need to stop talking. But you'll see all these people and see how they're doing and all of this. But then you come to the conference and you meet them. And that's a real person.
Right.
Michael's a real person. Lindsay's a real person. Terry is not as impressive in person as he is on camera, but he's not that impressive there, but he's still a real person. And so you get to see these people. And I think everybody was more impressed with Reagan than they was me, and that's fine.
Well, I think what it does, it allows people to, I was talking to an individual just the other day, and they were saying why they were looking at some of this stuff was so they could take control of their own ambitions.
Right.
Not leave it at the control of someone else.
Yeah.
That's right.
And this is just one of those perfect examples. Invest in yourself, arm yourself with some tools, don't rely on someone else to do it for you.
It is. I honestly believe it's the best investment you can ever make is in yourself. Not just ours, but anything that helps self-development, self-growth. And we'll get into the training here in just a second, but I'll leave you with this before we get into it. I had a guy just light me up on Facebook past week. And every time I would post something, he would leave a snarky comment. I cannot believe, how do you sleep at night charging people $2,500 for your elite package? And so the first time he said that, I said, well, first of all, I charge $29.97. First of all,
Don't shorten it.
yeah, it's $500 more. You must.
Second of all, patriotic mattress. That's
and well, I got into that. And the second of all, how I sleep is a California king. And I was thinking maybe he's just joking. So that was the first time and first dialogue, and then he kept coming back. And finally, I blocked him and I just sent him a private message, dude. I said, I'm not trying to force you or anybody else to make an investment that's not wise, but I will leave you with this. If you think an education is expensive, consider the cost of ignorance, because I would tell you ignorance costs you way more than an investment in education ever will. And I says, and if you think that's expensive, don't hang around by the end of the year, because I'll be rolling out a new product that's going to be $2,500 a month. And if you think one,
right. You ain't ready, bro.
You will really be offended to hear what's about to come down the pipe. So just know that. But we'll get into this training, and we'll give shout outs and everything. I do want to give one special shout out real quick, and I told him I would do that, and I got to talking. Miller Time is on tonight. Chris Miller is a rock star. We saw him at the conference. He was the one that got up, and he had only been with us when we got to the conference about 3 or 4 months. And got up and
with his bow tie.
With his bow tie. He is a sharp dressed man.
He has to stay in his bow tie.
Classy and sassy is Miller Time, if there's anything. And he was on, and he wanted me to give a special shout out to a Steve Pate that he's speaking with. And I says, consider it done, because I like Chris Miller a lot. I like what he's doing. I like the way he's branding himself. I like what he's doing in his business. And I think you couldn't have a better coach and consultant to work with and then Miller Time himself. Now, we're going to get into this training here that, like I said, this is a training that, like I said, I normally haven't even alluded to much outside of our elite membership. And most people don't even realize this type of income is available. And so it's a little bit different. And I want to play that for you, and then we'll take questions after this training. And then we'll get right in to our second training, which is how to really take some of the more laborsome things that you're doing in your business out of it and streamline your activity on a day-to-day basis and be more productive.
Before we go into the training, do you want to give the how to share the podcast, essentially?
Oh, did we not do that? I'm sorry.
I don't think we did.
You just have to. I thought we did. I think Lindsay.
Somebody was asking for the hashtag.
Okay, it's hashtag TW3 Podcast 382. And you just share it on any social media, Facebook, LinkedIn, but you have to be on YouTube to share it. But you just click the share button when you're on YouTube. And then we're going to pick someone And we're going to give you this right here. We're going to give you a book. And I tell you what I'll do.
Oh, he's pulling another one out from under the desk.
Oh,
I tell you what I do. This is a certificate for $300 in free food. I'm going to fold this up
and send it to Lindsay.
And put it inside the book.
It's inside the book. So you get the book, sign, and $300 in free food to your favorite restaurant if you share this podcast while we're still alive. Okay. So we'll do that. Let's get into the training and we'll be back right after this.
Okay, this is income hack number 15, dialing for dollars. What I'm about to show you is an advanced referral marketing strategy that we typically don't teach and train on except in our conferences. Matter of fact, our breakout conferences that we have once a year in March. So if you want a more drilled down look at what we're about to cover, it's a great reason why you need to be at our conferences, because this is the type of training we offer our elite members in breakout sessions at the conference. Now, what you are going to see is an advanced RMP offer, okay? So what I'm going to show you is how you can make $25 to $500 per call, okay? And it doesn't have to be a sale. Some of them are sales, but a lot of them, a lot of the top paying ones, have nothing to do with you selling anything, okay? And what you're going to see can happen 24/7. So if you're a third shift person, maybe you're working during the day and need to work late at night, what you're about to see, the concept you're about to see, you can do anytime. So if this is something, and we recommend this is something you sort of work yourself into, you don't just quit cold turkey tomorrow and start doing this, because this is an advanced RMP strategy that we're teaching and training on tonight. And it is going to take a little bit of time to get all the tools mastered that you need to do and use for this. But trust me, folks, you will want to do it. And this is just one reason why you need to be an elite member at TW3. And it's also, I'm going to show you the diversity. I mean, you can be in any industry you want to be in. So if you're in insurance, you're going to love it. If you're in real estate, you're going to love it. It doesn't matter what you're in. It doesn't matter what industry you have a credentialing in, a background in, you're going to love it, because it's so diverse what you can do. And I'm going to show you how you can do this either in a passive way or an active way, okay? Because what you're about to see, you can put on autopilot and earn money while you're sleeping. Trust me. Okay. So the pay schedules, you can get a percentage of the sale. Some of these are sales. Some of them are not sales. So the way you're paid on some of these referral marketing plans that we have, you're going to be paid, as a percentage of the sale. So for instance, it might be 10% of a sale. So if it's a $500 sale, then they're paying 10%. If the person, then that's a commission-based sale. So that's what that is. You can get paid for a fixed call rate, which means whether they buy anything or not, you get paid to terminate that call. It's a fixed call rate, okay? And then you get a dispositional rate. So how long were they on the phone? Were they on the phone 10 seconds? Were they on the phone 50 seconds? Were they on the phone 5 minutes? And based on how long they were on the phone, you get paid accordingly. And so some of the offers that way. And then you get a residual rate. Some of the offers we have are service-based, and if they get involved with a service, as long as they keep the service each month thereafter, you're going to get a percentage. For instance, DirecTV, Dish Network, those are service-based. They pay each month to keep that service on. Those are one of the offers, and you get a little bit of a percentage of that, just to give you an idea how these work. Non-sales opportunities are all over the map: credit counseling, legal counseling, mental health services, educational services, military and veteran services. These have nothing to do with selling anything, and you get paid to connect that person to that offer and that service there. So that's how that works there. And then the hours of operation is basically this: 24/7 or a specific time and region. There are some offers that says, hey, we're only having our phone center and call center open, between 12 and 4 in Arizona on Mondays and Wednesdays. So you need to check the fine print of, the referral marketing partner and what they're doing and what they need. and the traffic they need at that time, and then work accordingly and drive the traffic accordingly. But we have offers that is 24/7, like I said, but there are some that are specific time and region. The industries that you can work within are so diverse. You can be in business, you can be in careers, you can be in financial services, entertainment, real estate, nonprofit, media, and like books, health and wellness, family, legal. I mean, it's all over the map, and hundreds, really. There's just hundreds of different industries that you can work within and drive this traffic and these offers to that and get paid for it. So let me give you a quick example of how that works. And then you can see it, because I think once you visualize this, it makes a lot more sense. So, and before I do that, there's passive and active traffic, because keep in mind here, you've got all these tools to drive live calls. You can drive it through text, email, blog and podcasting, traditional media traffic. So there's different ways that you're allowed to use these various tools at TW3 to drive that call over into these referral marketing call centers that you're connected with and get paid to drive traffic over there. Let me give you a quick example. So here's in the back office, an RMP company we work with, and they've got Lending Tree. They've got, a legal service. They got justflowers.com, 1-800-DENTIST. They've got all kinds of different people, and they tell you, okay, I'm going to pay you $10 a call. I'm going to pay you $25 a call. So counseling services, hotels. I'm going to show you a couple of my campaigns. Here's one that I'm using right now, and I have been using for many years. It pays me $35 a call. It's a credit counseling service that helps people repair their credit and fix their credit, and it does counseling so to help them set up a budget and all that other stuff. You can see I've worked with them since June of 2015. Okay, that's how long I've been working with these folks. And, it tells you right here, here's the type of people you need to try to target. It even gives you that. They give me my 800 number to drive traffic. So I have a specific 800 number to call. When I drive people over there, if they're on the phone more than a minute, that's my threshold there. Then I get paid $35. I didn't sell anything. I help those people. But what's my part in this? I'm qualifying that traffic. A lot of times people try to get in this type of business and they fail. And I'll tell you the number one reason why. They think it's just as simple as throwing up some sort of ad with a telephone number and say, hey, call me now. You'll get shut down with our RMPs by doing that. And here's the reason why. You didn't qualify that traffic. Okay, you've got the reason why you have these tools, these engagement tools, these sales funnels, the ability to generate traffic the way we show you, the ability to qualify it with the video presentations and all this other stuff, the ability to auto respond and all that. The reason why you have all of these suite of marketing solutions and the training behind it is so that you can be taught how to qualify traffic, so that when you're sending them traffic, it's quality traffic and they pay you. Whether they do anything or not, you get paid. But if you think you can just throw trash to them, they're not going to pay. But once you learn how to use these tools, and that's why we show you at TW3, start with 1 through 6, then get into the RMP. And this is why this type of traffic and marketing is reserved for our elite, because they have a higher advanced training and a higher advanced tools that they can use and know how to do it. But this is where you want to go, folks, because I'm telling you, when you can do that, if I just drove 10 qualified calls a day, which I do more than that, by the way, a day. But if I did that just a day, because I've got blogs out there talking about the importance of credit and why you need to have a budget and all that. Maybe I did a podcast, maybe I did a blog, and I said, and then in that I said, call me. And maybe I've got a Ring Central account set up that each number, when they press 1, it goes to this 800 number. When they press 2, it goes to this 800 number. When it press 3, and I've set up a blog or a podcast that has a virtual call center. I'm getting into some stuff and I better stop. But there's a reason why we teach you how to use Ring Central and how to drive traffic that way. And so if I, for instance, was a person that came from the insurance and financial planning background, and I set up a podcast, and all I did was talk about financial planning and insurance products and retirement planning and all of these different things. And I said, call me today. And I gave out an 800 number I got from Ring Central. And then each one of those extensions, do you need help on life insurance? Press this. Do you need help on mortgage protection? Press this. Do you need help on credit counseling, repairing your credit? Press this. And each time they pressed a number, They went to another one of these RMP that was already in a call center waiting, and all they did was pay me for that traffic. You might understand how I started making money in this podcast early on.
That cauliflower rice was on point.
Thank you, Lindsay.
You're welcome.
You even have a cafeteria in your.
An on-site cafeteria.
On-site cafeteria.
For
That is a
employees.
perk.
That's a perk for being at the TW3 studios, which, by the way, we've got Miller Time, Greenbacks, Captain Quackenbush, and Miss Spelling Bee will be with us live in the studio the Wednesday before the conference
But
starts.
will there be cauliflower rice?
If you would like cauliflower rice on the menu,
Count me in.
I will be there with you.
Cauliflower rice and Popeye's chicken. To be determined. Or maybe cater it by Chick-fil-A.
So, guys, what you just saw, honestly, is how I started monetizing this podcast before I even got into selling TW3 or anything else. Because when I initially started this business, I was in the insurance business. I sold insurance. I sold financial products. But I didn't sell every type of insurance and every type of financial product. You can't. So I figured out a way to be this wide umbrella. And then when it was things that are outside the scope of things I do, I would set it up in an extension in my call center. And when they pressed 3, it actually went to a toll-free number that I was given by one of my RMPs. And all of a sudden someone picked up with, "This is Lending Tree. How can I help you?" Or "This is so-and-so credit counseling. How can I help you?" Or "This is such and such or so-and-so." And so we had so many different people. And what I tried to do is I tried to only pick RMPs that was around financial planning, anything to do with financing, loans, lending, credit repair, anything to do with that. And so my goal was to be the one-stop shop for anything financial, and then just stay in my lane on things I wanted to sell. But that way I could monetize everything. So that's how we did it. And we get into some really deep dive stuff at the conference on how to do that. And that's why it pays to be an elite member at TW3. That's just one of the things we show. So we're going to go to break. And then when we get back, we're going to start taking your questions and getting into some more training right after this. If you've ever listened to my podcast, you've heard me say it 1,000 times. Earners are learners and leaders are readers. If you want to go to the next level, you do have to grow to the next level. And growth happens by the people you hang around and listen to the most. Seth Godin says you're the sum total of 5 people you hang around the most. And that is why you need to go to terrywilson3.com/free book and get a free audiobook just to try out the services. Here's the deal. Over 70,000 different authors from every type of genre that you could think of. Go over there, pick one that you like, something that's going to inform you, something that's going to inspire you, something that's going to illustrate what you need to do next. Try out the service. If you don't like the service, cancel it, and you get to keep that free audiobook. But you're going to love the service, and I promise you, if you will commit yourself to listening and learning from those who have gone where you want to go, you can go there also. So go to terrywilson3.com/free book today. Try out the service and get a free audiobook just for trying it out. terrywilson3.com/free book.
And now back to our show with Terry Wilson.
Thank you, Christopher B. We are back, and so I hope a lot of you guys are getting stuff out of this. Good to have everyone on tonight. Yamil, good to have you in. Miss Spelling Bee, good to have you in. Caroline, sweet Caroline.
My friend.
Good to have you.
My friend Caroline.
Your friend Caroline. Miss Joyce, some stranger named Joyce. I don't know who that is, but she's in.
Hey, that's your mama.
We'll be careful there. Karen, good to have you in. So, Shara, good to have you guys. So, welcome everybody back. And I hope you guys got something out of that. I know the beautiful thing about RMP in this business is how you can put yourself in a position to where you never feel like you have to sell anything. That's the point. And some of these guys, some of these RMPs will pay you up to $500. I have an annuity company that if you send them the right traffic, it's qualified traffic, it's immediately $500 to you, whether they sell them anything or not. It's just as long as it's qualified traffic. So that's the beautiful thing about all of this. So it's very, very cool. So as you can see from the training we showed you, you can really scale a business without ever having to spend more time in doing so. That's the other beautiful thing about this style and type of business, this laptop lifestyle, as we call it.
And it's a good life.
It is a very good life. It's a very good life.
Unless you're on an airplane.
Unless you're on an airplane.
That's laptop lifestyle too.
Yeah, well, you've got to get to where you're just, you see, you're dressed right for this business.
I'm working on it.
You're dressed right.
I just can't wear this,
I mean, I was looking at the socks.
Business America. Hey, I wear this at home, right?
I know you do.
So off script here, I wear this at home because I'm allergic to our dog.
What?
So I can't go barefoot at the house.
I didn't know that.
Oh.
So I have to always wear the penny loafers and some socks and
I didn't know you was
longer-
allergic to the dog.
Yeah, I take one for the family.
Oh.
They love little Odin.
You need a golden doodle.
Well, we thought about that too, but see, then the price of a golden doodle.
But
Like-
remember my cousin?
Like I could buy a golden doodle, okay? I could buy one.
I know.
But then I looked at the price of a golden doodle.
But
and
my
I'm like,
cousin.
I had a
no. So
I had a golden doodle.
it was
Did you?
outside your yard today running around.
the whole hood had one today.
Yeah,
We
just-
thought about just keeping
I
her.
took a shot of penicillin and it cleared it right.
Okay, cool. But so we just have Odin. That's a rescue dog. That's
See, we don't have that cred in
yeah,
our.
we
Yeah.
have-
Me muted.
I was shamed when we got Star, which Star was from an unplanned pregnancy. So technically, she was in need of a home.
but some people are like, you have a full-bred dog. Oh, like and
And
we're
a
not
golden
one of those
doodle is
people.
technically a mutt.
We're not one of those people.
Okay,
but,
Okay,
thank
have
you.
we taken a left turn somewhere?
Thank you for not judging me.
we just we also would have had to wait for the golden doodle
Oh.
when we wanted the
See,
dog.
my cousin had a litter unplanned,
yeah.
and so they needed homes for all these puppies. And we were like, "Hey, we hear they're amazing with families. Done."
Yep, cool.
And then we got judged for it.
We're animal lovers here at TW3.
Yeah, some of us are.
So there's your local.
Hey, what about Flynn?
Oh, Gabby loves him. I'm not an animal person.
What?
I'm not.
I don't know if we can be friends anymore.
I love people that love animals, and I wished I had that in me, but I don't. I just don't.
It's National Dog Day. Who are you?
Well, that's fair.
Is it
See,
okay?
like I have a little bit of hate in my heart for the allergies that I get.
Oh,
Because-
I'm out. I'm allergic to all of it. So
Yeah.
it just my eyes and everything. So it just it's
Okay,
an
so y'all need
inconvenience.
to get golden doodles and done.
Okay.
Y'all have both been to my house, and there were no allergy
Back to the show. So
situations.
so we're talking about how to streamline your income, and be more effective in
Yes.
business, and taking the labor out of work.
Because it's not Labor Day. Hey!
Hey, because it's not Labor Day. So here's my question to the panel.
Okay.
What is a productivity tool that you find yourself using every day that you really love? And we'll start with Lindsay, work our way to Michael, and go in that order. So Lindsay, tell the audience of a tool that maybe they could use that would help their productivity in their business on a daily basis.
Can I give a backstory?
Sure.
When I started working in the call center, managing my own leads and managing your leads and like just doing all the things with leads, and then I made my first sale, I would just use my personal phone because it was convenient. Well,
Ruh-roh.
everybody got my phone number, and this was also another mistake I made.
Put
I
it
said,
on Twitter.
And put it on Twitter.
Just call me or text me anytime.
You said that.
And then I had a client in
Mistake number
California
Yeah.
that like would literally call me or text me at 2 and 3 a.m. in the morning.
Oh.
But it wasn't past midnight for them.
It wasn't. So there was no like malintent, but
Right.
I started using Google Voice, and it did a world of good for me because now all of my business messaging
Yeah.
is in an app. So when I'm working, when I sit down at my laptop at like 10 a.m. in the morning, I can open up the Google app on my laptop.
Right.
I can also see it on my phone if I'm curious as to who said what. But when I'm having my work time, I can open it and I can make calls from it so that I'm not giving out my personal number to like everyone, you know?
Right.
And so that is awesome. Google Voice is my
Google
favorite.
Voice.
And I don't get any benefit from telling you that other than
It's not an RMP. It's not anything. It's
I
just a
just
straight up
think it's
Google
an amazing tool.
Free tool.
And, you know, me and Michael was talking about this before the show started, how Google has got all of these suite of different free software and systems that's in the cloud. You had to go to Microsoft and buy Microsoft Office, or you went to Apple and bought their suite of, you know, productivity tools. Now you can go to Google Cloud and get, you know, a document, a spreadsheet, a slide, you know, like Keynote or PowerPoint.
All the things.
Everything you need.
Right.
Everything you need. Michael.
Well, excuse me. Mine's not really a tool. It's more the method.
Okay.
How about that?
Yeah, absolutely. Give the folks something.
I have to crazily attempt to balance on some days a wide variety of calendars.
Yeah.
Whether between personal calendars or work calendars, or if it's an internal call versus a maybe client-facing call, etc. So I found a really good method for me is actually color coding my appointments.
Cool.
So there's sometimes, depending upon the tool you're using or calendar email system you're using, most of them are, of course, just potentially free. But if you're using an Outlook or a Gmail,
right,
or a Yahoo, whatever it may be, you can set up some different buckets, if you will.
Yeah.
So, but when I'm, you know, on any given day, or maybe even in the evening, I can quickly glance at my calendar.
Yeah.
And see, is this a client call that I'm going to have to be on? Without even seeing the
without
context
having to open it up and all this other stuff. Yeah,
I can just
see that. That's awesome.
Yellow client.
Right.
That would be good for coaching versus sales calls.
Right. So
And
you can look at it and just instantly see, okay, this is the kind of
Because it's two different modes.
Right.
You have to like switch your mind.
Right.
So.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
And then I can have an idea too, just a quick calendar review. And also to a secondary one, I've noticed in a lot of, you know, trying to stay focused.
Yeah.
If you don't do it, encourage you to think about it. So when you're thinking about client calls, or if you just need to get work done, block it out on your calendar.
Ooh, like work time.
Work time.
Yeah.
So, you know, if I need 6 hours of work today, 1 hour is going to be my work time.
Right.
Because then if not, you're going to find yourself, oh, let me go do this.
You got to block
Let
that
me go
time
do
out, or
this.
someone
That's
or
right.
something is
Someone will take
Somebody
it.
will
Right.
take it.
So block it off.
You got to earmark it. Man, that's some great time management.
And so just some of those key things that help me be more productive. But, you know, a quick glance on a phone, quick glance at an email and a calendar for a week or a day, I can quickly see it.
What is this thing that makes it by color? What is it called?
So depending upon the client that I'm using, so email client, right? It
Right.
could just-
Gmail specifically.
Gmail, and I could pull that one specifically and let you know, but I don't know the name right offhand. But it's a lot of just sometimes rules that you're developing, you know. But it's
Okay.
a simple adding a category sometimes is what it is too.
Yeah.
So then you can just and you can actually do it for the same category colors. You can apply to an appointment or actually an email.
Very cool.
So if it's a client email or an internal email,
I would
it shows
like
up
that.
as a different color.
Right.
That's like
so
my
just
spreadsheet. I have it all, you know,
Right.
color coded.
so it's just an easy
Cool.
visual mechanism. So then I don't even have to look at content. I just
Right.
see the color, and it puts me at least in a certain.
And that tells you,
thought
okay, I have
process.
to address this now or it can wait 2 hours.
That's right.
That's cool. That's very cool. Thank you, Michael. Mr. Reagan, what have you got?
This is really good timing because I didn't plan for this at all, but I had a meeting yesterday with my other job, and in the meeting, our operator played a conference speaker who talked about essentialism, and so just essentially planning for what's important, planning for what's not. And he had a lot of little good anecdotes, and if I had planned better, I'd have my little notebook and would have something prophetic to say right here, but I don't. But one of the things that he had said in the thing is plan for yourself, or other people will plan for you.
Yeah, that's true.
And not in a good way, because it all kind of hit you at once. So something I do on days where I'm going to be like really, really busy, and I know that I've got a bunch of things I need to get done. They say the best thing you can do first thing in the morning is meditate or think or give yourself some time to sort of just plan. Essentially, I take my iPhone into the shower. I know I'm already going to be in the shower, I like long showers anyway, so I take my iPhone in the shower.
Hold up.
And
I didn't know you could do that.
Some
Well,
it not
iPhones,
get-
some
does it
iPhones
not
are
blow
water
up?
resistant.
my iPhone X, it's fine.
It's water resistant.
Wait, the 10?
Yeah, the 10 is, yeah. So I take it to the shower. I pull out my notepad. It's not super extravagant. There's no third-party software or anything. It's just notes on Apple.
Right.
I list out all the things that I know I need to do, like they have to get done that day. And then I allocate how much time I think each thing's going to take. So if I know I'm working in a, 8-hour shift at Chick-fil-A, I'm coming back, I'm probably going to have maybe 3 hours of TW3, 4 hours, and I have a paper. I'm essentially giving myself an allotted time to get everything done, and I mark it by priority. So I have to go into work and work 8 hours, otherwise they fire me. So that's number one. I have to answer tickets, get all that done, otherwise he fires me. So then that's number two. But then everything else, like my papers, if I have any errands to run, I'm essentially just marking out an allotted time. And then after that, I plan for what time I think that's going to start and how long it should take me. And so essentially everything's on a stopwatch, which I guess for some people that's probably horrible because it's like I'm always stressed. But for me, it's just like I know how much time I need to.
You're keeping yourself accountable for each task.
Right. Because if I don't, I'll spend 3 hours just watching YouTube thinking, I got plenty of time to write that paper.
Right.
So that's what I do personally.
It sounds like the common theme out of everybody here that didn't speak to each other independently, until you got here. It's all about time management. And it's amazing how it's so crucial. If you work for yourself, if you're an entrepreneur, if you're a consultant out in the field, you don't have a boss sitting over your shoulder over there in your home office. None of us do,
No, but my boss will quit sending me work if I don't manage it wisely.
Well, there's business pressures that keeps us all accountable.
Yeah.
But one of the biggest transitions people that come from an employment mindset to an entrepreneurial mindset is that has to adjust real quick is this thing about time management.
Right.
Because there are so many distractions at home. When you work from home.
Oh, yes.
Dude, I'm telling you. And I know every kid in this neighborhood in my own family thinks I am like some sort of Nazi over here.
Well, just like today, I was about to join a call.
Yeah.
About 4:00 this afternoon with a client. And here comes my 7-year-old daughter running downstairs with a half missing toenail.
Oh, no.
Wait. My future daughter-in-law?
Maybe with the one with the red rose could use one right about now. But and here I'm trying to juggle the call I have to get on. Right.
But you have your baby.
There's lots of those things though that are going to come up, not so severe. Right. But you could easily find yourself like, I'll do this.
Right.
I'll go do this, and then here at the end of the day, you look back and what did I accomplish today? Nothing.
But I'm telling you, it's like every one of you have said, Reagan, and you said it and heard someone say something. And you guys, if you don't plan and it's like Gina's starting to get here with this one concept. And I would go this far. You have to plan for your rest. If you do not plan for time off.
Absolutely.
And you do not plan this day or this time, I do nothing. I'm off the clock. No one.
Right.
You won't get it.
You'll work 8 days a week.
And
you need it.
Whether you're a person of faith like we are or not, it's just good psychology. They'll tell you, you've got to have that one day of rest.
And for me, it's two, because the one day of rest, I lead worship. And so I'm at church.
You're a professional Christian like the rest of us. You get paid to go do something. And so
I don't get paid. I love to do that. Like, I know, like that is a wonderful, wonderful expenditure of the gifts that I've been given.
Sure.
But Sunday is not a rest day.
No, it's a work day.
Sunday is the hardest day of the week
That's
for
why
me.
you have to schedule time, because if you don't, and let me tell you, and one of the roadblocks that a lot of my elite trainers, specifically my elites, but all of them, whether you're elite or not, that they have to get up to speed real quick, is managing your coaching time with your people.
Mm-hmm.
You have to be proactive. This is when I'm available. This is how long I'm available. And be proactive. I want to help you, but let's do it within these confines, because you will not grow and scale your coaching and consulting business at home if you're always call me anytime you need me, text me anytime you need me.
And you told me not to do that, and I was disobedient.
Well, because if you have a heart to serve, which most of our guys that are really good, they do.
We really want to see you succeed.
The best way to help people is to have a tight schedule so that you can help them.
Right. Well, and it excuse me, it gives both parties or any party involved. And when I say both, it's the person
The coach and the one being coached.
and the one getting coached.
Right.
Yep.
Some, I guess you could just say sense of, I don't know the right word, but just a sense of priority.
Yeah.
You know, if you're sitting there and
Well, if
just
it's
say,
call me anytime, you're chewing fat for 20 minutes before
Right.
you even get into anything.
Right.
And my people, they're like, I know you're busy, Lindsay. And I kind of, my heart hurts a little bit when they say that, but I've learned to not counter that and just say, you know, you're right, but I'm so glad to be talking with you right now. Like,
Exactly.
instead of apologize.
And so as you grow your business, you're going to be in the call center talking to people, helping these people, loving on these people, giving these people what they need. Because at TW3, you're never in a position where I have to make a sale. I have to do this. So you can do stuff. But then you need to have time that I'm managing the people that I've brought on and to keep them up to speed and keep them going.
And you need to manage your time wisely because the sale does not close when you get their money. The sale is not closed until they are off into the world doing well.
Exactly.
And something to think about, you know, as we're sitting here talking, what sort of just came to mind too is, so as we think of coaching, right? I'm going to connect this a little bit to my daytime job too, is team members that, you know, that I work with and support. What I ask them to do on even our standard check-ins, or you could call them coaching calls.
Right.
These aren't even clients. These are just team members.
Right.
Which I would, you know, consider very similar connection here.
Right.
Is also when you have these calls and you think of the individuals you're going to be working with, ask them to bring an agenda.
That's good.
Yes.
Okay. And this is what I do. So
let me stop you right there for just a second and bring a point. So what Michael just said, guys, what you need to be doing is on your calendar for you elite guys that have members booking time with you to speak with you. You need to put little forms in there saying, what do you want to speak about? And even maybe a drop down menu. Is it going to be technical? Is it going to be marketing? Is it going to be on the landing page? You know, have a apparatus set to where they can set an agenda.
Right.
And so you're prepared and they know what it's about. So I didn't mean to stop you, but I wanted to bring some practical.
Very valid point. But, you know, if you have a 30-minute phone call planned, and maybe it's cyclical in nature, but have an agenda that they bring forward. Right. So then, one, you can be prepared. And then also, if you see an agenda 10 items long, you're probably not going to get to all 10 items.
No.
But have some thought there. And then if you use, you know, like Lindsay mentioned, if you use a tool that can be shared between each other, you say Google Docs or something of that nature, keep notes in that, you know, so then you can easily go back and talk to it. But just some little different techniques you can use.
So what I would say from my coaching calls that I do, when a new client enrolls, what I do is I do weekly check-ins for 15 minutes to work through any like technical strategy questions that they have. And then once they complete step 6, we start sales strategy training. And I walk them through the PowerPoint presentation that I made for the conference. And I teach them basically everything that I learned the hard way.
Right.
And that is broken up over 3 additional sessions. So basically, when a new person comes on, you know, we chat as often as it takes for them to get through 1 session a week for steps 1 through 6.
Right.
And then sales strategy training. And then beyond that, you know, it depends on if they're a plus or elite for where we go next. But all of my sales calls definitely have an agenda.
Cool.
Like you said.
So what we've been talking about, guys, is how to manage existing business and how to grow your existing business. I want to ask everyone in the room, Reagan included, there's a, but not River. I'm messing with you, son. I
said hallelujah.
Stanford University, their psych department did a study. And this is very interesting to me. And so I want to ask you this hypothetical question. If you are planning some life goals for next year, let's say, and there's some things that you want to accomplish either personally or professionally.
Swimming pool. Sorry.
Whatever. I want to make an additional $50,000 a year, or I want to develop a better presentation on this particular product, good or service, whatever. Or I just want to maybe some personal development stuff. Like I want to work on my attitude, and not let life get me out of whack in this area. Because every time this happens, my attitude starts to change. You know, whatever. Because I mean, so here's my question. With that as a backdrop, what is better for you? What's better? To pick 3 things that you know you could accomplish and do and have success. You know that it's in reach and I can knock these 3 things out. Or have 30 things you plan to do. Some of them you think, yeah, that's reachable. Some of them I don't know. And some of them that's almost impossible. For instance, I want to make an additional $100,000 next year or a $200,000. And I want to have a swimming pool and a beach house next year. whatever. But to have 30 things that
are dreams.
Dreams, but not just dreams, but you're intending to put action to it.
They're goals.
So what's better? What's better? To have 3 things I know I can accomplish or 30 things that, you know, some of them may, some of them may not.
3 all day, every day.
Okay.
I'm going to get difficult and break them up.
Oh, please.
So I'm going to have a target that I would see as more achievable in hitting.
Mm-hmm. So you're going to prioritize a large group.
Well, it may be, here's my goal, and here is a standard I'm going to go after and meet regardless. And once I hit that, this is a stretch goal for me.
So you're going to have like 10, 10, and 10?
Maybe my goal is 50,000. Okay. And if I hit it, I'm not stopping at 50,000 and becoming stagnant.
Okay.
So I'm just a goal-oriented individual. One part I like to see my own progress going forward. So I don't want to set a goal at 100,000 because I'm not going to give myself feedback until I hit 100,000.
Okay.
So I may have incremental steps to that. So it may end up being a lot of different ones, Terry. But philosophically in my head, that's what clicks for me.
Land the plane, 30 or 3.
It's probably 30.
Okay.
He
with
says
some different steps.
Okay. Reagan.
I feel like we watched the same guy. Whatever inspired you to start doing this segment, I guess, because the same guy, the guy that wrote Essentialism, he in his book he says, would you rather have 100 different areas that you make a millimeter of progress, or have 2 areas that you ran 100 yards? And I mean, he obviously is making the point that, you know, you have 2 things that you've accomplished, you got the 100 yards. That's what I would say. But
okay, here's what the study says, and I got this from John Maxwell's teaching on goal setting and going after. And so, according to John Maxwell, in a 2018 Stanford psych study, they took a sample of 1,000 people here, 1,000 people here, and what they found that the people that did the 3 things, 98% of them achieved. 98%, hold on. 98% of them achieved and accomplished it. However, the people that did the 30 things, only 40% of them, out of the swath, 40%, let me put it this way. Out of the 3 things, 98% of those 3 things in each person was accomplished. Okay, I said it wrong. 98% of the 3 things that each person that said it's in my grasp, I can do it. When they took 1,000 people and they studied them and they had them on this thing where they checked in with them week after week after week. How are you doing on this and how are you doing it? Okay, so 98% at the end of the year, 98% of each person's 3 things we're done, completed.
Okay.
Out of the group that picked 30 things, where some might be achievable, some might not be achievable, some is in that gray area, they don't know, but they asked them, 40% of those things were achieved. And so you break it back, it is better, according to Stanford University, to go after 30 things, to have 40%, because you're going to, and the point Maxwell is saying is we sell ourselves way too short too often with our goal setting and what we think we can accomplish and what our capacity is, because you're always better off to put things a little bit out of reach that stretches you.
You want to learn while you do it.
And learn while you do it.
Okay, so maybe I'm thinking about this the wrong way, but if I have 3 goals, they're going to be 3 awesome goals. If I have 30, like one of them is going to be to make my bed every day.
What's the word awesome mean? If it's awesome, it's big. If it's a big, because keep in mind the way that the caveat here is that you know that you're 100% know that you can accomplish. When you put that in front of people, they will always aim low and hit rather than aim high and almost hit. It's human psychology to always path of least resistance.
Yeah.
You see, well, one of my goals is make my bed every day. One of my goals.
I mean, if I got to make 30, come on. I ain't got that many goals. I'm living it good right now. Like
the point that Maxwell is trying to make is you're always better to stretch yourself. His point is it is better to set a goal and not reach it and learn from it than to set a small goal that you can always hit and there's no
challenge.
Like you wake up like, I'm gonna hit that this year anyway.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, it's the same thing. Like I try to apply when we work with, so we do a lot of work with hospitals and physicians, right? So they may come up with a goal, and the goal they may choose is like, okay, so relatively speaking, what you're telling me is that you want to be an average hospital across the country. Well, that's a good goal. I want to be average. Like, really? Really? So yes, where they're at, maybe getting to average first is the right step, because you don't want to have a team that never sees success.
Sure.
But that's just step one.
Well, what's the cliche? Rather to aim for the stars and hit the moon,
right, than
to aim for the moon and fall short. Always aim big.
Right.
Because even if you miss, you're always going to end up, this, like I said in one of the chapters, the problem we all have is we aim so small and hit rather than aim so big and miss. That's usually people always settle.
Sure.
So,
but usually what I found is when you're pushed the most, is usually when you learn the most.
Absolutely.
So being uncomfortable is when it really helps you understand a little more.
It's human nature not to want to be challenged. I would say my waistline is where it's at because I don't want to be challenged. But we have to if you're going to grow.
Yeah.
Right?
Or shrink.
Guys, we'll be back right after this. Let me ask you a serious question. Do you know what your unique value is? That thing that sets you apart from everyone else in your business. You know where to go and how to find it. If you said no, I want to encourage you. Get my new book, You Are Worth More. You can go over to youareworthmorebook.com and it goes into what your unique value is, where and what it is, the imperative for you to win and acquire more out of life, how to increase your income by using these unique values that you have, a way to scale and increase your impact both personally and professionally, how others are succeeding in spite of perceived limitations, how to tap into your creative genius, actionable steps to earn unlimited income, and ways to leverage tools to increase your productivity. That's all the things you're going to learn in a very informative, inspiring, and illustrative way if you go over to youareworthmorebook.com, youareworthmorebook.com. Hear me now or feel me later, as I like to say. You are worth more. In the moment, the very moment you start believing it and receiving it, you'll start acting upon it and you will start having it. So there's two things that I use on a daily basis to make more money, make more sales. Because I have learned over 20 some odd years of being an entrepreneur is most people do not make a significant purchase the first time they hear about it, or even the second time. As a matter of fact, it normally takes 6 touches, 6 encounters with a client before they will ever decide to pull the trigger on anything. How do you scale a business if you can't automate that process? One of the things and tools that I use is Aweber, which is an automatic email marketing system. Right now, you can get a 30-day free trial by going to terrywilson3.com/Aweber. That's terrywilson3.com/AWEBER, Aweber, and try their services out. I think you're going to really like it. And if you decide to keep it after 30 days, they'll give you a discount for using that code. Go to terrywilson3.com/Aweber right now and put your marketing and your sales process on autopilot.
So, are we gonna take questions?
We are taking questions. We are now ready to take the questions.
Speak for the audience real quick.
We pontificated there a little bit, but we're ready to get in and take some questions. No, you weren't the only one pontificating.
Okay.
Remember,
You
quote
don't know
of the
what
day.
that means, does it?
It means thinking.
No,
Nope.
To dwell on.
no. To boldly declare something in a very dogmatic way.
I very rarely have
That's
an
why they call
oppositional
the
view.
pontificate.
Okay, well, there again, things I don't know.
Study. There's going to be a test.
I took a pill for pontification once. It cleared it right up.
Thank you, Reagan. Thank you.
Goal number 4.
Gold.
All right, I'm gonna go ahead and ask the question. So, let's
That
see
could
here.
be something you could strive for, better vocabulary. And I'll strive for
Who's gonna teach me? Because it ain't.
ain't gonna be. Well, I can
Expand,
teach. I just can't
expand your
spell
number
it.
of SAT words to 1,000.
You're right. You can teach me. You just can't spell.
I just won't be able to teach you how to spell it. All right, go ahead. Sorry, Reagan.
Questions.
Questions.
Oh, we're gonna read the questions.
Yeah,
Oh,
we
okay.
need answers.
We need answers.
All right, just making sure. Just calling your guys' bluff. All right. Any chance I can get a replacement $300 certificate? My book came with a certificate, but I've been so busy I haven't had a chance to review it, and it expired.
Yeah, no problem. Just send in a ticket, and we'll get that out to you.
We'll replace it for you real quick. Let's see here.
If you're not a member, if they weren't a member that was asking that, just send us an email, and we'll send that.
Okay. I need to start earning as soon as possible. Have the time and the skills. How soon can I make money at which level?
You can make money at any level. It just depends on what your income goals are, and what your, if you want to start making money quick, we're going to put you in steps 1 through 6, no matter what level you join. If you want to make money and be able to make money not only from selling, but also being able to give things away like hourly and salary jobs from other people, giving things away through our referral marketing partners and stuff like that, you want to be a Plus member. If you want to have your own agency, want to have all the tools, the platform, and the income stream, and the ability to make high 6-figure income, potential, then that's where the elite membership is. So, and you can upgrade later, so you don't have to start at the top. I think now for some people like Lindsay, she came on as a Plus level and studied for months. And then upgraded to the elite level.
Which was great for me because it's drinking water from a fire hose when you start.
Yeah,
it's true. A lot of information. So it was great that I could figure that stuff out.
But you started making money after you upgraded.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
But it was great that I could get that foundation before I was brought into all the extra information.
True. Very good.
How many streams of income are there at the elite level?
Oh,
how many do you need?
It's infinite. It's actually,
that's a loaded question.
That's a loaded question because, and the reason, let me put it this way: there are 4 very, very basic ones, and then through RMP there are unlimited thousands upon thousands. So,
I think though, going back to that last question, not this one, but the one previous about, I think it's always good to caution that. You're not selling a get rich quick here.
Nope.
So we're not.
You're
What?
not.
I'm leaving. What am I doing here?
So
yeah, because I'll tell you one of the
there's gonna be some time that you have to put into this.
There's time. You're
and it's
not
not just a click of a button that you're just gonna be rolling in money.
Thank you, Michael. Thank you, because everybody starts at this thing differently and has different availability, different technical skill sets, different sales skill sets. I mean, and it's just the way it is. Some people, it's a few weeks and they're off because they have the time and the ability. Mm-hmm. There are other people that have the ability but not the time.
I had one guy who was an amazing closer, and he made his first sale in 2 weeks.
Yeah,
but it's done. It's a proven system.
The system
you just have
works.
To spend your time doing it.
Right. The delay in it is how quick can you get the system, learn it, and start executing on it.
And for me personally, it took me a minute, a long minute, because my mind was needing to wrap around the marketing concepts and the technical stuff. And it was
there's a lot.
Yep.
There is a lot. And, I make no bones about it. I shrug and get a little off put by some of these ads I see where it says, hey, make money fast, 1-click money making system. Lead Rocket 1000, whatever. And if you find a system that is so simplistic to do that, then let me tell you something. It might work today, but it will not tomorrow because technology and everything changes so rapidly, so quick.
And do any of those companies have a weekly podcast and have weekly trainings
and ticket support?
Like, do any of them have the supportive measures that are going to sustain you?
Nope, they're a mystery.
No,
I know this.
You know.
I am the man of mystery.
You are the man of
The
mystery.
international man of mystery.
Speaking on who is who is Quackenbush?
Captain Quackenbush is the one, the only, the legend, the way of life. Mark Ian Griffin, up in Virginia, military man, retired military, Captain Quackenbush. That term came because he heard a story about me talking about a lady that called me and said, I'm in your shopping cart. I'm trying to buy your Plus package. And at the time, the Plus package was $1,000. And I can't seem to get checked out. And I says, well, let me log in the back of the cart and see if there's a problem. And I says, I've got several people in my shopping cart right now. What's your last name so I can look it up and do a search real quick to find out? And she said her name was Quackenbush. Now, I thought she was joking. And I have a very sophomoric sense of humor. You guys know this.
So you laughed.
So I laughed because I thought it was funny.
Automatic strikeout.
She, on the other hand, did not share the same sensibilities I did and became very offended by it and said, this is highly unprofessional. And I said, I'm sorry, ma'am, but you said Quackenbush.
So he got the nickname.
So Mark hears this story. And then from then on out, every single time, and to this day, every time he does an enrollment, he don't put Mark Griffin on the enrollment form. He puts Captain Quackenbush. And then he'll put some historical context to the Quackenbush family.
I know more about the name Quackenbush than anyone should ever.
Well, at least he's upgraded himself to captain.
Well, yeah, we have. He is Captain Quackenbush.
That's funny.
You know, and eventually we're going to give him some more stripes, and he can be an admiral. But that's that. Captain Quackenbush is Mark. Greenbacks is of course Gary. Bam Bam from the left coast is Ron Hoslam. Miss Spelling Bee is Miss Lori out in San Antonio, which is not El Paso.
Very different.
Very different area of Texas.
Yes, I was near El Paso just last week.
I hear Texas is like pretty big.
Well, we took an RV
Moderate
trip
size.
and
Slightly larger than Rhode Island.
Yeah, slightly.
just a little bit. Yeah. All right, good question.
Some of the questions we got through email. What's the deal with the $2,500 per month product? You mentioned that in the beginning. What's that about?
You're bringing up things now that are cool.
Yeah. Well, me and my confidant over here, Mr. Mystery Man, have been talking, and we've got a few people who have asked me to do some executive training and some higher end training and have more availability. And so we're developing a product that we're not ready to release, but it's going to be more of an executive coaching type situation. It's basically it's either $25,000 up front or $2,500 a month if you want to finance it. And it's a 1 year, they have to sign off on it, but we haven't got all the details yet, but that's something that's coming down the pipeline because I've already got about 7 or 8 people that's wanting to do it. And
so we're leasing a Tesla.
We're leasing a Tesla.
Cool. Terry, who are you currently using for group texting? Google Voice does not allow it anymore. And Remind didn't allow me to add more than 8 people and accidentally sent an invite to Remind.
Yeah. So if this is a member, go into your back office and into your lead tab, there is a system right there that will do bulk texting. That is right there in the system that you can use. And that's who I use to manage. I had to get off of Remind and go to another system as well because I send out text alerts to this podcast in the invitation. So that's in your back office.
Cool. Can Plus members do what Terry just shared?
I guess on the training, no. That's an elite thing only. Those type of RMPs are only for elites.
Cool. You record these, right?
Yes.
Cool. And then lastly, so far, read. How can I start for free or with no money?
We have an affiliate program, which is free, which that sort of people that says, you got to buy a Terry system. No, you don't. You can get involved with us for free as an affiliate. You just don't have the tools and you don't get the commission structure as a trainer does. And if you want to become a trainer, we have some easy financing options. You can go, of course, over to PayPal and get that 6 month interest free, no payments, no interest, no anything for 6 months, which is pretty cool. If your credit will do it. I think, what is the FICO score on that? 650 or above?
650.
Yeah. And then if you don't have that, see your trainer because they might have some loan opportunities that they can help you get an installment plan. Like if you get our elite package, a 48-month installment plan, I think for $119. So and it's zero down and then $119 in 30 days. So it's pretty cool.
So this is a financial podcast, yes? You would consider it in the realm of finances.
Business planning, marketing. Why?
So explain this to me. To get a credit card, you have to have credit.
Yes.
To get a starting credit card, you have to have some credit.
Yes.
So how do I build credit without having credit? And the way you build credit is to have a credit card.
You have to buy one of those credit cards that they make you hold a deposit.
All right, that's all our questions, folks. Good job.
Because there are banks that are going to do that. I mean, I forgot the name, but you have to put some cash up front.
Chase does that.
Right. And your
Capital
limit,
One
your
does
limit
that.
is going to be
I
what
tried
you
going
put
through Capital
forward.
One. It just seemed like a backward system. I was like, where's the invite to get into this party? Because
Well, it is a
Well,
little
it's
bit of truth too. And then if you get good enough at managing your cash,
Right.
you don't need credit.
Right.
And then you don't have
They're
a
basically
score.
making you put up a security
Right.
because a credit card is an unsecured loan.
sure.
Whereas you would probably find it easier to go get an apartment
Oh, yeah.
or even buy a house than you would.
But you can't buy a house without credit.
Right.
It's not the idea that I want a credit card to be able to spend money that I don't
It's the
have.
system.
It's I just want credit so I can
Right.
maybe apply for a car that I can afford, but they don't think I can. That type of thing.
Yeah, the good old credit score is another gentleman that I hear say it is it's a score of how well you manage debt.
True.
But if you don't need to manage debt, then
Yeah, if you're living we're punishing the
Anyways.
people that live within their means, but you know.
Well, it's true. I mean, because you know as well as I do that even buying this house was tough for us because we live off cash and we work for ourselves. So I don't have this W-2 coming in.
right.
And they make you jump through, as a self-employed person, they make you jump through all these hoops. And the one thing I hate that mortgage companies and lending companies do is they judge you off of your taxable income rather than your gross income, only because, for instance, all these trips and stuff are tax deductions that I take. And that comes right off of, you know, we did that RV trip and it was, at the end of the day, it was around $11,000, $12,000 when it's all said and done. You know, we take about $30,000 a year just in vacations and trips. And I always blog from them, I always podcast from them, I always do these things because then it's part of my marketing, you know, because I'm an online marketer and I'm an online podcaster. And what am I selling? A lifestyle of entrepreneurialism. So I write that off as advertising dollars and I can
Right.
do that. But at the end of the day, they're not letting me count that the bank's
income.
as
Right.
income. So there's some things I just wished I
Well,
had.
it's in everywhere because, you know, when I travel, so the way my normal day job works is I travel, I expense it on my own cards.
Right.
I get reimbursed for it weekly from my company. It's direct deposited into my account.
Right.
The mortgage company, when I was getting the house, counted my debt on the cards that are revolving.
That aren't
But
even your debt.
It's not, well, technically it is, but
Right.
it's being reimbursed weekly.
Right.
But they would not count the routine weekly deposits coming into my bank account because it wasn't income, but it was going directly to that. So here, sometimes with my travel, I'm putting $6,000, $8,000, $10,000.
So you
a
get
month.
all the liability, but none of the assets
That's
to offset
right.
it.
So,
yeah.
and they would look at my bank account. Well, we can see that that's coming from your work and it is for your expenses. Okay. So can you count it? No. So they would count the debt, but not the other piece part of that.
That's
It's like-
why I do all my banking at a local bank up here because these girls know me
right.
and they know how to help me.
At the end of the
You know.
day, Relationships matter
Relationships are huge
in any level of business.
This is your money, yes? Yeah. And you have it weekly? Yeah. So can I get? No, you can't get it. It's not your money.
Well, it's like when we went to get this car for Gabby, newer car, and they came back and says, well, according to your income and everything else, your income is this and that, and but we talked to the bank and it looks like in your savings account you could buy that car 5 different times, so we're going to go ahead and lend it to you.
Right. Thank you.
Thank you. So, I mean, it's just I have to work with them because I can't go outside. So it's real cool. Hey, we're going to go one more break, and then when we get back, we're giving this away. And inside of this, look at this. There's $300 in free food to Outback Steakhouse and all these other things. It's a restaurant certificate thing. You got to turn it in and all that. But it's pretty cool. And we're going to be sending that to you. It's inside of this right here. You're going to get it. And we'll be back right after this.
Have you ever tried a work from home business? If you have, you may be like several others. Matter of fact, 98% of people, according to Forbes magazine, who've tried and failed. Why? Well, there's several reasons, but the main reason is because most home-based businesses have no means, method, or mechanism for you to get in front of people who need, want, desire, and can afford what it is you offer. See, the unique thing about TerryWilson3.com is we put you in a position where if you can simply answer a phone, read a script, you can make money. And I'm not talking about going and selling pills, thrills, lotions, and potions. I'm talking about selling something that every business, everyone who has a product, good, or service needs. And that is a lead generation marketing system. But here's the cool thing. You never cold call. You never have to recruit your friends, family, and foes. You simply take a call, read a script. Want more information? Go to TerryWilson3.com/call center right now to get more information. That's TerryWilson3.com/call center.
And now back to our show with Terry Wilson.
Hey, so we have a winner.
Winner, chicken dinner.
For Terry's free book and the $300 restaurant gift card certificates. And it is Shara 2.
Shara 2. All right, Shara, you're going to be getting this right here. And also, let's cut that applause off. Good Lord. That was an abrupt. Let me do that. You're also going to be getting that $300 restaurant certificate that's in right there. That'll be sent out to you. If you could, Shara, send me your mailing address. Go to TerryWilson3.com/contact. That's TerryWilson3.com/contact, Shara. Is it Shara or Sarah? It's Shara. And if she will send that in, Shara, we will send this out to you free of charge. It'll go out in the mail tomorrow, and I'll sign it right here. Okay?
Cool.
So do we have any other questions?
We had one more come in. Knock it out real quick. Will the competitive traffic 1,000 unique visitors from your competition in the store work for any business?
Yes. Yeah. All it is you say, here's the competition that I'm trying to hijack traffic from. And then here's where I want to send that traffic to. Man, that is for brick and mortar businesses. We don't talk about this a lot, but we've got a service for our members in there to where they can say, for instance, Domino's of Boiling Springs. And so anybody that would be Googling looking for Domino's of Boiling Springs, when it pops up in their search, it'll take them to Dino's Pizza of Landrum.
Oh,
it just sort of moves,
shuffles them.
It shuffles them a little bit. So we've got a little bit of something there that we can do. So it's very effective. I actually have churches that do that, use that. Looking for First Baptist of this, and it ends up coming over to Second Baptist because they're tired of being in second place.
First Presbyterian.
Right.
Where's the third is my question. There's never any thirds.
There's never. Well, they don't count third place in these.
Apparently
churches.
not.
Well, that's when they just added some numbers to denominations.
Exactly.
So that's another podcast.
That's when it's non-denominational. we don't
We
count
give
our
up.
place.
If we can't be first or second, we're going to be, whatever. Guys, I hope you learned a lot tonight. I hope this was something that you'll be able to use in your business. I hope it inspired you guys that are not members. Man, make sure that you talk to your trainers, see if this is right for you. If this isn't right for you, no hurries. Listen, our trainers are paid by third parties to help you, okay? So what that means is if getting an hourly or salary job or getting freight brokering job or getting a craft assembly job or something else.
Supervisor at Chick-fil-A.
Supervisor at Chick-fil-A. Yeah. And I met with the vice president of marketing with a national insurance company today, and we're working out a deal where our members can recruit for them and get paid, and they pay a base salary of $40,000 plus commission, and they pay benefits and this and that and the other, and we're going to be able to fold that into one of our RMPs.
Nice.
So that'll be one more thing, one more feather in our cap, and our members will get paid to vet that traffic and vet that because we're in a recruiting space. So it's going to be pretty darn cool as that unfolds. And we've got a real estate company that we're working with that's going to come out. So that's some cool things that are going to be happening in the next couple months. So anyway, stay tuned for that. This has been Terry with TerryWilson3.com. This is episode 382. Make sure that you go over to TerryWilson3.com and sign up for our newsletter and sign up for the ability to get text alert. If you would like to buy this book that Shara, just won tonight, you can go to TerryWilson3.com and go over and get that book. We'll mail it out to you. It's $15.97 to buy and about $4 to send out. So you're going to spend about $20 when it's all said and done, but we'll get it out to you, and I'll sign a copy if you buy it from our site. Of course, you can go over to Amazon as well and get that as well. I'm telling you, there's a lot of good stuff in here, and I was hoping I could cover some of the stuff tonight, but we've been gone for 2 weeks. And so every time we take some time off, we get in here and we just pontificate. So anyway, guys, have a good night. Talk to you later.
Thank you for listening to our show today at TerryWilson3.com. If you would like more information on how we can take your money, your business, and your life to the next level, then please visit us online at TerryWilson3.com or call 800-673-1728.
This is the Terry Wilson. Really, I'm excited, Terry. I want to get started here.
Is this a celebrity, Terry Wilson?
Oh, my word.
How you doing, sir? Dude, don't even go there. I've been listening to this for a while, and I'm finally like, okay, guys, what a privilege. I mean,